right, let's talk about inverse tangent or arctan. You'll see the notation written a couple different ways. You'll see it written as arctan. You'll see it written as tan to the -1. This does not mean a -1 exponent. It is not equal to 1 over tangent, which is equal to cotangent. Inverse tangent and cotangent are not the same thing at all. So let's talk about the concept. Trig functions. They take angles and give us ratios. Angle goes in, ratio comes out. For tangent specifically, we put in an angle, we get out the opposite over adjacent ratio. So we plug in an angle, we get out the opposite over adjacent. So for instance, if I were to plug in the angle 45 degrees, or pi over 4 radians, okay, the tangent of that would be 1, because if you're looking at your unit circle, the y divided by the x is equal to 1. So what are we going to do with arctangent? I would expect to be able to plug in a 1 and get out a 45. Okay? Now, how do we get to this point where we can plug in a 1 and get out a 45? First, let's talk about what this can be. Because for arcsine and arc cosine, we can only plug in ratios between -1 and 1 because those graphs are bound, those functions are bound by -1 and 1. But if you'll notice with the graph of tangent here, it's not bound by 1 or -1. Tangent can go all the way to infinity or all the way to -infinity with its y values. So when I flip it around, the x values that I'm plugging into inverse tangent can be any real number. Okay? So this can be any real number from -infinity all the way to positive infinity. All reals is the domain of inverse tangent. Okay? Now the output, the angle, what angles is tangent going to give us? Well, if I picked a random y value, like 1, okay, and I started looking for the angle that gives me that, well, I can find one right here, right? If I went on over, if I kept going, I would find another angle that gives me 1. And I could go back and get another angle that gives me 1, and another angle that gives me 1. And I can end up with lots of angles that give me 1 because the function tangent is not 1-to-1. It does not pass the horizontal line test. So for its inverse to be a function, the function definition says if I plug something in, I only get one answer out for each thing I plug in. So for this inverse to be a function, the function has to be 1-to-1. It has to pass the horizontal line test. So we need to trim this domain a little bit and make sure that our function is 1-to-1. So what we're going to do with tangent is we're going to take all of this off, okay? And we're going to take all of this off. And we're going to trim the function to just one of those little pieces, okay? So that it's now 1-to-1. If you'll notice, this is going to be pi over 2 or 90 degrees. Excuse me, I'm in degrees here. And this is going to be at -90 degrees. Okay, so the angles that arctangent is going to give me are always going to be between -90 and 90. It's only going to give me that answer. Okay, it's only going to give me that answer, which is similar to arcsine, except arcsine has or equal to. Okay, it has the inclusive version because for arcsine it can't equal 90. For arctangent we have asymptotes, vertical asymptotes at the 90 and the -90. So it never actually gives us 90 or -90 because the tangent at those two places is undefined. Okay? If I'm thinking in terms of the unit circle, that's going to put me on the right side of the unit circle. So arctangent always gives me answers on the right side of the unit circle. And these fourth quadrant angles are not going to be 300 or 315 or 330. It's going to be the negative version of the angle. So it's going to be -30, -45, -60. Okay? So they're always going to be acute angles, and positive ones will give me a positive answer, negative tangents will give me a negative answer. But the angles will always be between 0 and 90. If you want the other angle on the other side of the unit circle, okay, these angles, the angle that has the same tangent is the angle directly across from it in the opposite quadrant. The formula to give us that other angle, which is pretty valuable in certain contexts when you're solving equations or other situations, when you have some real world application and you're looking for the other angle. The other angle in the unit circle, we would say pi plus theta, or 180 degrees plus my angle. Okay, so if I'm in the first quadrant, add 180, it would give me the third quadrant angle with the same tangent. If I'm down here in the fourth and I add 180, it would put me in the second quadrant with the same angle. Okay, so the function, the arc function, is only going to give us the angle on this side of the unit circle. If I want the other one, this is the formula to get it. And then once I have two, you can find the rest by adding or subtracting 360. All right, let's look at a couple examples. Arctangent of square root of 3. Okay, the arctangent of square root of 3 is going to be 60 degrees. All right, because at 60 degrees, the square root of 3 over 2 divided by a half is equal to the square root of 3. Arctangent of negative 1 is going to give us negative 45 degrees. All right, on the unit circle, again, we're down here at 315, but arctangent's not going to give me 315. It's going to give me negative 45. All right, different way to express the same angle. If I were using a calculator, if I were to take the arctangent of 0.8, I would get 38.660 degrees. And I wanted to point this out, the tangent of 3. So when we did the arc sine of 3 or the arc cosine of 3, both of those answers were undefined or did not exist, all right, because 3 is outside of their domain. However, tangent has a domain of all reals. So we can take the arctangent of 3. So the arctangent of 3 is just going to give me 71.565. Okay, so arctangent has a domain of all reals, which is a little different than arcsine and arccosine. All right, let me know if you have any questions. It's arctangent.